Hello, guys and gals, and this is a book review for book 11 of the Wings of Fire main series. This is The Lost Continent. Now, this book takes a slightly different approach than the previous 10 books in that it introduces an entirely new continent. Now, let's start 2,000 years ago. That's a good starting point, I think. 2,000 years ago, Clearsight, after burying Darkstalker underneath a mountain, putting him to sleep, for 2,000 years. After that, she goes across the sea to the new continent and ends up saving a bunch of dragons over there because of her precognitive abilities. She could see the future, her future sight. Now, back then, there were only two tribes of dragons. There were the Beetle Wings and the Leaf Wings. Now, Clearsight, whether it was meant or not, Clearsight started a third tribe of dragons called the Hive Wings. And so, yeah, we'll go over these different tribes of dragons. The Leaf Wings had the power to communicate with the earth. They could make plants grow, and they like trees, basically. Hence the name Leaf Wings. Plus, their wings are shaped like leaves, so they were called Leaf Wings. Unlike the dragons that we're familiar with from the first 10 books, these dragons have four wings. I think all the dragons on this continent have four wings, as opposed to two on the, across the sea. So, anyways, also, this book happens prior to the events in book 10. So, if this was chronological, then this book would happen before the events of book 10, I think. Anyways, let's get right on into this. Silk Wings. Well, long story short, the Leaf Wings, there was a war or something, and the Leaf Wings were all thought to be dead. Basically, the Hive Wings went to war with the Leaf Wings, and then the Hive Wings basically enslaved the Silk Wings. So, there's that. And no one has, seen a Leaf Wing in years. It's been a long time. Anyways, we have Blue here, who is a Silk Wing, formerly a Beetle Wing. I guess that later they changed their names. Now, the Blue we know from the beginning of the book doesn't have wings like this because Silk Wings, they don't get their wings until they reach a certain age, I guess, and then their bodies form a cocoon around themselves, and then they go through a metamorphosis like a butterfly. So Blue here doesn't get his wings until way late in the book, which I always thought was kind of a spoiler, really, because, well, the book is entirely from Blue's perspective, Blue being this dragon here. Yeah. I will say that the third arc is really lore heavy. They spend a lot of the book basically building the world, this new continent, and how all the politics work and stuff like that, which is really admirable. It's a thing that Tui, I think I've been saying the name wrong, even though this is how Google said to say it. Tui has gone to great lengths to really flesh out environments and worlds, and it's amazing. The dynamic of the relationships between Hive Wings and Silk Wings is that, well, until up to a certain age, Silk Wings can't fly because they only have these little nubs that will eventually grow into wings. But they live in between hives. Now, they're these huge hives. If you think of wasp hives, Um, they're kind of like that. Since all the trees, the hive wings after the Great War, or whatever it was, cut down all the trees. And so they had to use wood stuff, basically vegetable material, to build these huge, immense hives, these vast cities. And the okay, I don't know why this is not working right. There we go. The sorry, I lost my train of thought there. I should have paid more attention. Anyways, the hive wings built these huge hives, and I don't remember exactly how many hives there are, to be exact. There are like 6 or 7 hives, and each of them, there's silk strung between each of them, and that's where the silk wings live. The hive wings need the silk wings because the hive wings can't produce silk. Now, there's a special kind of silk wing called a flame silk, and it does just that. None of the dragons on this continent breathe fire. So the only access that anyone has to fire is through the flame silks. The flame silks are silk wings that have a genetic mutation that allows their silk to do something special. Most flame silks can just spin out silk, kind of like a spider would, I'd imagine, or a silkworm. But a flame silk has 2 kinds of, if we're honest, there's actually like 5 kinds of flame silk that a flame silk can make, but we're not supposed to know that yet. But there's 2 types of flame silk, of silk that flame silk can make. One that actually burns you unless you're actually a flame silk. They use it to light lanterns, kind of like we would, like light a match in an old-fashioned lantern, kerosene lantern or something like that. But the flame silk like that lasts a couple days, I think, or a while. And then there's also a type of flame silk that is kind of bright, but it doesn't burn you. So, yeah. Now, they're very sought after, these flame silks. And this book is basically about Luna. Now, I know I mentioned Luna before. I think it was probably in the last video, because I did mention that someone something happened that we weren't supposed to know about yet. But this is about Luna. Luna goes through her metamorphosis like a week or so before Blue is supposed to go through his metamorphosis. So it kind of catalogs that day. They go to a sweet shop in order to get honey drops. Now, if you're interested in the recipe for honey drops, then you'll need to get the book, The Guide to the Dragon World, which has that recipe in it, if I remember right. But anyway, so they go to the sweet shop and they get honey drops because Luna loves her honey drops. And so, yeah. But anyways, something weird happens, though, when they go down to, well, there's an area where all the silkwings go to go through metamorphosis. And what's weird, though, is that when they get down there, there's a bunch of guards down there, which is really unusual because usually it isn't even a place that's guarded. But, yeah, you just know that something isn't right. And basically, another thing that's strange, or I found strange, and I still don't really understand, is that for some reason, Blue actually has 2 moms, which is fine. It's just, I found it was kind of strange. You don't really learn much about Blue's father because he's just not really around. But there's something very strange about Luna also, and basically, I guess it isn't too much of a spoiler to say that 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 basically she's a flame silk, and it's thought that maybe Blue is one also. So it's about time that we bring up something else that Queen Wasp, who is basically the queen of the hive wings, can do. Again, that isn't a spoiler either, really. You see, Queen Wasp has this power, this ability that allows her to mind control all of the hive wings everywhere. All of the hive wings. Well, with the exception of, well, of one. And so basically, the entire hive is looking for Blue. And so it's kind of a big adventure. Um, Also, Swordtail is a friend of Luna's also, and a troublemaker, rather. Blue has a unique view of the situation here because he kind of is an empath. He always puts himself into the shoes or the wings of other dragons. Like, how are they feeling is what he's thinking about. So he doesn't even realize that the silk wings are being oppressed, really, because he's always seeing the world from a different perspective, kind of a brighter perspective. Um, but yeah. So, anyways, eventually he finds an ally, and then him and this ally, they help free Swordtail, and then they go and they try to rescue Luna because she got taken away because she's Flame Silk. Now, they have a time limit, though, because it's not too long until Blue himself goes through this metamorphosis to grow his wings, and during that time, he is completely helpless. And so, yeah. I don't think I can actually give away anything else. This was a really interesting take on like how they introduced a new continent. It's very, very fascinating. Um, I think this arc is probably the most, well, not this book, but I'm saying, but the entire arc 3, is probably the most lore heavy of any of the other arcs, which is saying a lot. But, yeah. And then afterwards came the Legends Darkstalker, whatever it was, um, which was another Legends book. I had never read the Legends series before, and for a while our library only had the Darkstalker book, which I read. And I will be doing a review of that after I do book 12, 13, 14, 15, and you know, the spoilers with the whole third arc thing going on. Then it'll be Legends Darkstalker, and then Impossible Creatures, I believe, and then did I say Legend Darkstalker? Legend Darkstalker, Impossible Creatures, and then Legends Dragon Slayer, I believe. It's the book that I have right over here because when I went back to the library, they actually had the other Legends book, which a lot of people say is really, really good. Because I think it's the first time we meet Sky. Because I don't know. I don't know anything about that though. But anyways, that is going to do for this video. I thought this was a very good book, one that you should probably pick up. It is slightly different because it's dealing with dragons you're not really familiar with, but Tui makes or really, now this is especially true of book 14. If there's a character you're not supposed to like, then the writing is so good that you're not going to like them. But if there's a character that you're supposed to like, then it's going to be so well written that you're going to love the character. So that's a sign of a really good author. I will say one of my favorite books of the entire Wings of Fire franchise would have to be book 14. And this is the one that I was most skeptical on, and I'm not to book 14 yet in these reviews, but I'm eager to get to that one because it's one of my favorites. And so yeah. Anyways, that is going to do it for this video. If you like this content, make sure you like and subscribe. Ring the bell so you know when I upload. Caught you that time. But yeah, that is going to do it. But yeah, check out your local library if you want to read this book yourself. And that's going to do it. Thanks for watching, everyone. You are loved and have a great day.